ntol melbe sirago nyo e benyo sabolla ya yitandi le ko itol mu fa kilinti ba kilin sa intol no mala ko intol melbe koma itol be jikilin tolla ndol sitara kelol mamalo bang dunni wali ya malundile foni gol arsalo gol na dunni wali ya malundile momo se haklo tu nyimu politiko be bannale badia fola kirade bi ndebe abulay noma ngo amulie man do ko ke nga tonya le fo bang man tonya fo nga wuli le fo amul ala e men diala pour a doku ala banko e ada di woleto woto momo libe diam la dron afo konte laftale ko na karima koy afana amul ya tudamen asa samba ndol be development ole nyinin kan ni ajam be nyin fola ku morsiata bake endun tolu kilim fa kilim ba kilim be sen haklotu melbe palasol yininna ifele siri wona nakata Gambia jamba woda madama mu samplol tin tol kono woda madama mu samplol tin tol kono be se haklotu momoy fota isalo ibe men fola nyulu mo lulo be men mel lota fen gagneta gam foni dingolem fo mba bondi no la jam même ma gagné mba bondi no la jamba nda bondi no la ntol damma ngollem woto alga nyaw ma koy kumolto kumobu kadomo barake la moy la de ni be diam la ye diamu hakilola karbeten na woman tol nati jang me nati jam membe na banko samba nola mbe ore ni nolla prezaya diptele kumata ntol fon kono ka dipte am ntol fonoldi nka kile ay taranyeji any problem ngamen sodo asa solve no ni ala ya dema na ma solve nka na blame ala ma diala pura okay lafta nyamen woro ni bedula nyini la anyini ni hakilo wala munti bi nintelo ta jam ngo amul ye man do ko ke alga amul bondije abula ye dunje wala fege dunje landi dunje landing bina wato menna amul ya tudamen abata la woleto na sambaje wo mun to la kayroldi ndela ko mote jamfala biko tilo tatale ndenga men soto wala mu nyinti ko mbenga haklotu ndolu baden kilin wala mu nyuliye sampulo le tandi molla ndekata political la de birin PPP la time bara nyuliye menke ndenene maje political kono de woto i paredale kam malundi nkara so wala dilgole dame muta ga jemuta ide men support wo support do barkada karin support balia wote nte karin wala bikonde ndemembe diamo la ten ndela musom amul binkile moti dagat ngo amul ndetane nade amul ala katolike amul ndengalon ko bi hanna fota ni sirangola billahi wallahi talla bitale damen fesiata dibitiati wala tinanga ablay noma pura fana nene bara manche ko nga amul le konde afala nene le enu bi abedamento meme fo kan jang ali be sali hakilo tuje a gagneta aman gagné abula amul ala londida men wolo tale already al sewolon woto nga banko nyini Cairo kono nga banko nyini ndol be la nafati ngana banko nyini fitinola momo be banko nyini la fitinola ite mu fitina mole ite banko sambanola ite sambanola bare niya sambani hakilola timando modu be jiko sotole ko nyinde abe banko nyini kan hakilola woto nasi abe kukelale ndego ngawo amadi jube ba ngawo tambindi ala baraka diamo be siari diam lal be siari
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. By the grace of Allah Almighty, I have the most singular of honor to welcome you once again as members of the press, community elders, authorities, politicians, supporters, and the general attendance of this press conference. It is rather unfortunate that the government we voted into office cannot or is not ready to protect its citizenry. The recent happenings in the border have internally displaced hundreds of families, and this could have been averted if the government were serious on the issue. The gunfire and selling have injected a lot of fear and panic in the region, yet we do not know the government's stance on the matter. But Mr. President, Adama Barrow, please do the needful. It is high time you started to think and concern yourself with real nation building. We are a sovereign country. We are the solution to our problems, not Senegal or ECOMIC. Operation Restore Democracy. The insecurity in Africa is fueled by the very actions and or inactions of you, our leaders. In the case of the Gambia, my Gambia, your Gambia, our Gambia, your style of inaction and delay tactics has not helped and will not help. If you continue to drag your feet on and not act or at least say something, I am afraid you are setting precedents that will cause us all serious and unfathomable socio-political, economic miscarriages. We are unhappy. We are resolute and uncompromising in our condemnation in the strongest possible terms this unnecessary and totally avoidable political and security missteps on our beloved and irreplaceable citizens and sovereignty. However, we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Thanks to all humanitarians and donors to the more than 189 internally displaced families as a result of the Senegalese forces and the MFDC separatist ongoing war affecting our peaceful Gambian soil. The altruistic struggle to help ease pain and suffering of our citizens and families associated with internal displacement and neglect of our people by authorities has but only begun to gather inordinate amount of oxygen, momentum, and resolve for our district and country, but against the evil and egocentricity of all those persons and authorities suspected to be involved. Now, the educated, skilled, unskilled, old, young, men, women, political and apolitical of our people are united and resolute more than ever before against anyone or authority against our people, their rights and welfare. In fact, this has but only brought us learning points, unity and consciousness of our people. We hasten to express our support and prayers for peace and unity to reign in our land, Fonyi and Gambia. To the victims, we say sorry. To the dead, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and the departed souls, Jannatul Firdaus. Amen. To the more than 79 displaced families, of whom there are pregnant women, children, lactating mothers, differently able, old, sick, injured, traumatized, we assure you of our support and love at all times, smooth and rough. Mr. President Adama Barrow, it is worthy to note that this is not the first time our people's rights and freedoms have been violated, including the closure of schools, community health posts, by a war foreign yet encouraged by your government. Did you ever ask what has happened or is happening to the lives and livelihoods of the people affected by this senseless war? What about their cattle and other domesticated animals? What about the students and kids whose future depends on schools and closed health posts? To the government of my dear Gambia, civil society organizations, international organizations, and all ECOWAS heads of states, we request your unbiased and uncompromising stance to withdraw the Senegalese timber forces and apologize to the Gambia, especially Fonyi. Please relearn and review your engagements and agreements in the best interest of peace, unity, and justice. Important to note the role of the press and media operators. Yours must be the stance to accurately inform all, as that is one of the pivotal of roles to defend, protect, safeguard the rights and freedoms of all and sundry, irrespective of region, color, creed, tribe, political affiliations, and or levels. Welcome to Fonyi, the land of patriots, unity, peace, justice, and love. Welcome to the great Chancellor, my land of birth, our land of birth. I pray as we have gathered in peace, our gracious God returns us all back home in absolute peace, with a renewed commitment to establishing and seeking justice, unity, peace, and tranquility of and for our dear republic, the Gambia. As we are gathered today on this auspicious occasion, we ardently rise to salute Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator and sustainer, for we all owe him a lot, the people of Fonyi most especially. Today we call you all to share our 1,900 plus days of hell on earth. Precisely, murders, ordeals, pain, suffering, marginalization, and neglect by individuals, groups, government, and non-governmental agencies. Again, we hasten to recognize and applaud the commendable efforts of all Fonyikas and the entire Gambians and non-Gambians alike, whose actions and inactions have gone to keep and promote justice, peace, and equity, but also condemned in the strongest possible terms any injustice, inequity, and maltreatment meted out onto Fonyi and the entire Gambia as a whole. We have lived long enough, not because we have aged enough, for it is because we have heard, seen, lived insecurity, injustice, marginalization, poverty, ignorance, limited opportunities, poor education, poor health care, etc. 5 years on, we still battle unlivable days of life as Fonyikas and Gambians. Hopelessness, marginalization, and insecurity is still the order of the day. Mr. President, 5 years on, servitude and squalor, politics of deceit, neglect, and are our only known best friends. I repeat, Mr. President, 5 years on, servitude, squalor, politics of deceit and neglect are our only known best friends. We are all one and the same people, but what we stand for and believe in is our differentiator. Fonyi is not just a Jola region. It is a foundational part of our country. It is an inspiration. It is a belief. It is a belief that we should be our brother's keeper. It is a transformative belief, a belief that had transformed an entire country in ways innumerable and unexpected. A belief that continues to change lives and livelihoods of not the people of Fonyi, but an entire country, Nyomi to Badibu, Jara to Kiang, Kartong to Koina. Mr. President Adama Barrow, 5 years on, your people, my people, and our people have but only suffered undue insecurity, injustice, neglect, murder, marginalization, police and military brutality of epic proportions. Please replace pangs of pain, of deceitful, divisive, negligent politics with splendor of clean, patriotic, inclusive, and representative politics for a better Gambia for all. 5 years on, your politicking has headed against us, the hardworking, patriotic, and peace-loving people of Fonyi and Gambians at large. Today, we ask of your explanation, for the pain and suffering has arrived at our necks, and we might vomit the venom which will be politically and legally venomous for our envisaged Gambia for all. Mr. President, we are fabulous, open, noble, and intelligent region. That is why we are called F-O-N-I. We are great, we are peaceful, patriotic, and humble people. And please do not take that for granted. Please don't. I repeat, we are called F-O-N-I. F because we are fabulous, O because we are open, and N because we are noble, and I because we are intelligent. And that is why we are called Fonyi. And that is why we are foundational to whatever of this country. We are Gambians, we are citizens. We deserve your attention and the attention of the government in our plights and predicaments, especially for the sake of peace, security, and unity. We are humble, we are good, we are noble. Please don't take it for granted. One thing is certain. As for Nyinkas, we know our heroic Haruna Jatta is gone for good. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May Allah grant him and all the departed souls Jannatul Firdaus. Amen. His only crime was to peacefully protest. Yet you failed to arrest, let alone adjudicate his murderers. Today we ask yet again, when will justice be served for Haruna Jatta? When will his family and relatives see closer to his broad daylight murder? As if that was not enough, a governmental and security mistake, there and then came another shocker, and this time around, a catalogue of cases and incidents. Simply put, heavens were let loose on the people of Fonyi and on Gambians. The beginning of your presidency was markedly chaotic and premised on lies, hate, and vain defense of your presidency by some exploiters, political bibles, and deceitful officials. The following are some cases in point: the Kamfenda case, the militarization of Fonyi, the Kanilai protest, the murder of Sister Janke Bojang, and the murder of Sifo Kujabi Gobi. a serving member of the Gambia Armed Forces. It was a gruesome murder. We can't forget it. We can't forget all the murders and the mistakes. All we ask for is for your concrete step towards attaining justice and closure for the victims and Gambians. They are Gambians. The shooting of Ismail Atamba, the WhatsApp group case, and others, and most recently, the war between the Senegalese Timber Forces and MFDC separatists in the Casamance region. These are some out of the many unfortunate incidents of insecurity, negligence, and inaction by your administration. Today, once again, we press conference to remind, share our past and current situation, and at least pay our tributes to them, our fallen or victimized heroes, once again. Rest assured, we still continue to monitor the situation, and our objective is loud and clear. Justice and peace, justice and peace, period. Fonyi request 1 minute silence for them all. Yet, we ask again, who killed Sirifo Kujabi Gobi? We are not at war. The insecurity, burglary, and murder cases are highest in Kombo, not in Fonyi. Then, why are the Senegalese Timber Forces in Fonyi? When will the Senegalese Timber Forces leave? When will Gambians enjoy once again the safety, security, peace, development, and territorial integrity they used to have? When will our Fonyi be safe and secure? When will Senegalese government respect and see Gambians as humans and equals? I repeat, when will Senegalese government respect and see Gambians as humans and equals? What is the use of our constitutionally mandated and provided for security institutions? When will we be independent or decolonized by or from Senegal? When will military separatist selling and bravado in Fonyi stop? If we may ask, is your National Security Council dead or alive? Are they really advising you? Are they really aware of situations in Fonyi and Gambia? Is your recent Thanksgiving tour far more important than Fonyi crisis? We have not seen you. All we have seen is your silence, your inaction. We ask again, is your recent Thanksgiving tour far more important than Fonyi crisis or serious nation building in Banjul, not in Mankamankunda? Are we seen as equals by your government? Are we, Fonyikas, seen as equals by your government? In case you don't know, Mr. President Barrow, Fonyi citizenry and non-Fonyi citizenry reject, in the strongest possible terms, the undue selling, militarization, and neglect of Fonyi and Gambians entirely. The war between the Senegalese Timber Forces and MFDC separatists must not be neglected. Please, for God and heaven's sake, please initiate peace talks as soon as possible. Gambians are suffering from a war, foreign and unintended for them. In fact, the brunt of pain is absorbed by the Fonyi region. Do not allow the Gambia to be stained and dented by selfish interests of any person's government or presidency whatsoever. We are sovereign, and our external relations doctrine frowns at encouraging, meddling, and or interfering in affairs of foreign governments and entities. Once again, we tell you, Mr. President Barrow, that our fathers and mothers are tired of Senegalese Timber Forces intimidation and molestation, even in their orchards and farmlands. I repeat, once again, we tell you, Mr. President Barrow, that our fathers and mothers are tired of Senegalese timber forces' intimidation and molestation, even in their orchards and farmlands. Our country, the Gambia, has become an overnight desert and forestless zone. I repeat, our country, the Gambia, has become an overnight desert and forestless zone. As far as the Senegalese timber forces are concerned, even our firewood is now from Senegal. And our parents are tired and are up to the neck fed up about this enslavement and military occupation. We simply implore you to do the needful for our country, for Fonyinkers, who are citizens, Gambians, and taxpayers. To Gambians, to Fonyinkers most especially, our strength is in our unity and patriotism. Our love for peace, unity, country, and nation must dictate our drive and endeavor for a better Gambia for all. Our regions, tribes, personalities, political affiliations must not be used against peace, unity, and nation building. It is high time we started to build a serious nation for a serious Gambia for all. To the people of the Gambia must all unite against evil, wrong, and injustice whenever it occurs, wherever it occurs. Our borders, regions, tribes, religions must never be used to undermine our national journey to the envisaged, promised land. A land where our standard of living is upped for decent living in all the senses. My dear people of Fonyi, we have a country to build, but we do equally have a region to build. Let's join hands to build our nation. I am of profound gratitude to see the presence of Honorable Amul Nyasi, aspiring Honorable Landing Bojang, and aspiring Honorable Tumani Sane of Fonyi Jagol. For the purpose of record, this is not a political event. This is a recount of the incidents that have happened in Fonyi that we want to share with the press, with the entire country, so that the debate on these issues is reignited, is rejuvenated, and then the needful attention is given to the people of Fonyi and then the plights of Fonyi. Thank you.
Abdullah, for the invitation, and I equally want to stand on the existing protocols. That being said, I want to thank the media for coming to cover this very important press conference. As highlighted by Abdullah, this press conference is apolitical. It's about what is happening in Fonyi. It's about how can we collectively come up with a lasting solution in addressing the situation that is confronting us from 2017 to date. I think if we have all listened keenly, we would all agree that all that he highlighted is something that has been ringing the bell in terms of what is the government going to do to come up with a lasting solution. I was not coming to make any statement, but I was coming to show solidarity with him for the fact that he had the mind to invite me to attend this press briefing. I equally, on his behalf, want to thank my brother, Landing, and Tumani for having time to come and join him in this very important function. What I may want to say here is that I believe those who have been following my engagement with government from April 2017, or let me say from June, when the first incident happened in Fonyi, which led to Aruna Jatta's death, I have constantly been asking the government, when will justice prevail for Aruna's family? Of all the incidents that Abdullah have mentioned, there is none that I have left out. because that is what representation is all about. You are there to speak on behalf of the people you represent. You are there to engage the government and all relevant authorities. That is why you are a representative of the people. And representation is about joining them in good times and in hard times. So it's time for us now to collectively think in the same domain, strategize together, and we will be able to reach a lasting solution. There is no better way of engaging a sitting government than the manner in which Abdoulaye have pioneered this press conference. We have seen aspiring candidates who are going out beating their chests as if they are above the government. They can make it happen. Any day they assume the seat of being a representative of the people. But that is a misleading information. That impression is wrong, is unfounded. Even whereas you are a National Assembly member from the ruling party, you cannot remote control what the government will do. But what you do is you have to be diplomatic in your approach. You have to engage constructively and then criticize when the need is there to criticize. Constructive criticisms. Because the government will know that there is somebody who is serving as a watchdog on us. But if you want to be confrontational, you end up being a loser. And there is no way you can win. So let us be sincere and genuine when we are canvassing for votes. The message that we spread, the information that we give to our people should be honest, should be real, should be attainable. Let's face it. I have lived as an opposition for the past 5 years. April 6th, I will be 5 years as an opposition MP in the National Assembly. I have been brave enough to knock the doors of the government, to engage them where, when, and how, where and when necessary. But have I been able to deliver to expectation? The answer is not at all. They will listen. I will put cases to them. I will engage them. I will confront them. But at the end of the day, it's not to their interest. So they just go about their games. That is how governments operate, particularly in Africa. But this is a way that a government will realize that this is someone who is coming to complement what we are doing. And that is exactly what Abdoulaye and co are doing. They are going to engage the government constructively, productively, to make sure that at the end of the day, there are results. So I commend you for your stance. Keep up the momentum. Don't ever be deceived by anyone, be it a follower or followers. Be guided by your consent and let you speak your mind freely and openly. When you go to bed, you sleep until you snore. But if you allow people to dictate how you go about your politicking, at the end of the day, they are going to be the same people who will stand aside and start pointing fingers at you. We all have a collective responsibility in the maintenance of security in this country, particularly Fonyi, our region. Together, we stand. Divided, we fall. Let our emotions and sentiments not compel us to do things. At the end of the day, we will be losers. But rather, let our consent guide how we engage the authorities. At the end of the day, whether it happens or not, our consent would have been clear. The people we represent would have known that we have done all that we can, and nothing came out of it. But as their representatives, we are pushing. I want to commend women, youth, elderly of Kanfenda, more so our brother from Fonyi Jarol, Tumani, who have traveled all the way from his constituency to come and grace this very important press briefing. Commanding on behalf of Abdoulaye, I salute you. And now I want to say this. I know it will be surprising to the viewers and listeners that the incumbent is sharing the same platform with young people who are aspiring for the seat on which he is sitting. But I want to make it clear, I have always been emphasizing that the seat I am sitting on, it's not my personal seat. It's not Nyasekunda's seat. It's not Genia's seat. It's the seat of the people of Fonyi Councillor. They have the mandate to elect who to sit on that seat. Whether re-elected or not, that depends on the people of Councillor. But the spirit should be, we are not enemies. We are not enemies. We are all out to sell our developmental agenda, how we are going to better represent our people. And it's now up to the electorates to elect the person they believe have the most befitting agenda when it comes to representing them at the National Assembly. I have been confronted. Some people said, Abdullah and Landing are pretenders. They are pretenders, they are not serious in the business. Wallahi, they are more serious than any other contender. And yesterday, I was at Dasilame. My entourage, they heard what I said about these young two lads. I am a promoter of youth participation, youth inclusivity in politics. I am an advocate of women participation and women inclusivity in politics. That is why I am proud that I have two young, energetic, competent, intelligent youth that are competing me in this election. Push your agenda. As I said earlier on, don't be emotional, don't be sentimental, don't allow anyone dictate you. Be guided by your consent. After politics, life continues. We started life before politics. And after politics, life should continue. You all know how connected and related I am to your biological parents. We are very close. I talk to them freely, they talk to me freely, I engage them freely, they engage me freely. So we should be cognizant of that fact, that politics will come and go, but our relationship will always remain. On that note, I thank you, Abdullah, once again, and I commend and salute all the aspiring candidates for this noble press briefing, which I believe will ring a bell in the ears of the President and the entire government machinery. Thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My name is Mr. Landing Bojang, an aspiring independent candidate for Fonyi Councillor constituency. It is an honor for me to grace this special occasion. It is a very important gathering since we are aware of the recent happenings, particularly the people of Fonyi. It is prudent for us to raise awareness to the authorities so that they should be awake. If they are not aware, it is important for the people of Fonyi who are witnessing the crisis to spread the gospel. That is the message, the recent happenings that are confronting the people of Fonyi. I want to commend Mr. Ablai Bojang for organizing such a wonderful gathering where issues affecting our daily lives and the people of Fonyi, it is important. I want to thank my brother, Honorable Musa Amul Nyasi, for gracing this occasion, just to show you that we are all one. It is just a constitutional mandate. It is a constitutional mandate for every citizen of this country, irrespective of your culture, your religion, your background, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is, once you are a Gambian and you are a native of a particular district or a constituency, that is Fonyi Councillor we're talking about. I belong to Fonyi Councillor. I belong to Gambia. And I am from Santamba village, a native of this councillor. A native who who is aware of the recent happenings, even the past happenings. Because I was born in Kansala, raised in Kansala, schooled in Kansala, live with the people of Kansala, and I know every problem that is affecting my people. So I give 100% commendation to Ablai Bojang for taking the foresight, to invite the candidates that are yearning for this particular seat, that is Fonyi Councillor seat. Our brother, Honorable Ahmed Nyasi, is our mentor, will be our mentor, and we respect him because he's a brother and he's a native of Fonyi Councillor. It is a constitutional right for each and every one of us, if you have the qualification, if you are competent, if you are aware that you are competent, you can do the work, why not look for this position? But when you are looking for this position, it is important we go with ease, with professional maturity. I, for one, I am not coming for politics. I am coming to raise awareness on how we have to go about politics. It is very important. Politics, your political enemy is not your enemy. We believe in that. Well, we are in terms of politics. We need to be very much careful what we say, what we do not say. It is very important. Let nobody force you to say something. That is why I stand as an independent candidate. I don't stand under any other color rather than independent candidate. Rumors say I am MPP under Bude, that is independent candidate. Adama Barrow is the one sponsoring me. I'm aware of the fact. What I am saying, this is a false statement. It has never happened yesterday. It will not happen tomorrow. It's not happening today. Everybody should understand that. I stand to unite the people of Fonyi. It is very important. We have seen there is fragmentation. And if there is fragmentation in Fonyi, all the issues that are happening here, we will not be able to address them. It is important we come together as one family. One person cannot address the issues that are happening in Fonyi. Everybody should understand that. And when we are addressing the issues of Fonyi, we have to use our mind. We have to go with tactics. Tactical approach is very important. Diplomacy is very important. We will not use force to address any issue in Fonyi because we are aware, we are educated, we are legally minded people. It is very important we go with ease. We know the current issues that are happening in Fonyi, that is the Senegalese soldiers, or the economic, you call it. It is the household when you mention that. But how are we going to evict these people? It is not by force. We are going to engage the authorities, the security authorities. Our president is one of them. We will engage every organ of security. The Security Council is around. The internal security, the Director of Internal Security. We want to call all of them, all security organs, to work collectively to advise the president with the situation in Fonyi. We are not saying we want to use force to make sure we address the issue, but we will awaken them, we will alert them, we will use our tongue to diplomatically appeal them to make sure that let them do what they're supposed to do, what is ought them to do. It is very important. We will remind all our security heads to make sure that they work collectively to advise the president to make sure that there is a big problem in Fonyi. And the problem that is happening, it is not our interest. There is conflict of interest. It is Senegalese interest. Because the freedom fighters, that is the MFDC rebels, are trying to fight for their freedom, that is their determination. Nobody should undermine that. Everybody should respect that. It is their right to make sure that they fight for their determination. Gambia should not participate in that. Every citizen of the country should not partake in that war. It is not our interest. It is a conflict of interest. and there is armed conflict. It is very important we understand that. It is their right, Ilanyan told them, so that they can have their freedom. It is very important. So everyone should understand that. We should respect that. And Gambian government should not intervene, should not participate in that. There is no interest in that. So it is very important we call our security organs, our authorities, Minister of Defense, Commander-in-Chief, to understand that they have failed us when it comes to security in Foni. Because if you look at border patrol, it's a mandate for every country to regularly patrol 24/7 or 24 hours to make sure that the borders are secured. Our borders are porous. We are all aware. During the former regime, that is Yahya Jammeh's regime, there was regularly patrol by our Gambian soldiers. Our brothers, our sons and daughters, those are the ones we rely when it comes to security. We will not rely on any foreign security, because foreign security, particularly the ones in the epicenter of Foni, the epicenter of Foni is Kansala. There are 5 districts in Foni, and the epicenter is Foni, Kansala, that is Biam. We have a military base in Kanila. I don't see the reason why. What is their legality? We ask this question. What is their mandate? The Senegalese soldiers, we call them a cohort or a comic. What is their mandate? Their legal mandate in Foni, Kansala. We need to ask this question. What is their legality? What is their function? What are they going to do here in Foni? Are they causing more harm than good or not? It is very important for government to tell us what is their legality. Why are they staying in Foni? When we have our sons and daughters in Kanina, there's a camp there. We go to Kalaji, there is a camp. You go to Spano, there is a camp. Tigerwood. You go to Bullock, there is a camp. You go to Kafuta, there is a camp. So when it comes to security of Foni, we are very safe and sound. We don't need any foreign security. And the so-called peacekeeping they were talking about, there is no need for us Gambians to bring these foreign soldiers into our country, because there were no armed conflicts at the time. Jammeh left peacefully, and there were no armed conflicts. If they were foreseeing that there is going to be an armed conflict, 5 years, by now they should end their mission. If there is a problem within the Senegalese and the people of Foni, and those Ghanaians and Nigerians are part of ECOWAS, why can't you exchange them? Let the Nigerians come to Biam, or the Ghanaians, let them come to Biam. You send the Senegalese back to the Combos. When they are not fully well, you know that at the epicenter of Biam, we all know that we said what, even the recent government says that 2017 that Foni is a rebel zone. They said it. If you said Foni is a rebel zone, and you know that very well, there are cats and dogs, why are you bringing them to the epicenter of Foni? It is very important. We talk to them, whether they will do it, they will not do it, we will echo our sentiment. It is very important. We will speak. We will speak so that the government, the authorities, whoever is responsible in bringing these Senegalese soldiers here, we are urging each and every one of you, security heads, security chiefs, service chiefs, it is very important you come together, form a collective responsibility to make sure that issues at Foni are addressed. There is fact-finding mission. Still now that fact-finding mission, we have no report. We haven't seen any report with regards to the border patrol. Looking at the border patrol commander, is from Foni. Lieutenant Colonel Omar Bojan is my brother, is from Foni. You are sending a Foni car. Our brother, go and address the issue of Foni. There is crisis. There is need for you to go and address the issue. If there is war, go and die there. You are from Foni. It is very sad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not politics. We are here to speak the truth, and the truth must be heard. We will not favor anybody. I don't want to be a puppet. That's why I stand as an independent candidate. I don't want to be dictated by anyone, any self-interest person. It is very important for us to tell each other the truth. Today, if you are a security chief or a security commander, security council, whether you are the internal security head, please pay heed to what I am saying. When you go home, when you sleep today, think very well. If this situation were in your shoe, What will you do? Fonyi belongs to Gambia. It belongs to Gambia. We are all Gambians. So it is very important for everybody to take this message. So I want to thank Ablai Bojang for organizing, for giving me this platform to echo my opinion. It is very important to sound my opinion. It is key so that we can come and also share. Because I believe in addressing this issue, it's not only one person. It is all, everybody. Men, whether you are young, old, young, it's very important for us to share ideas so that we can put our heads together, our hands together, to make sure that all issues that are affecting the people of Fonyi, if you are a patriotic citizen of Fonyi, if you are a genuine citizen of Fonyi, please, you are welcome. Let us all come on board to make sure that we unite the people of Fonyi. It is very important. That's why when Ablai invited me, I said, well, I have to go. It is very important. It doesn't matter. We are not going to talk about politics. It is a reality that he said that he's going to do. So I want to thank him for taking this foresight to bring the people of Fonyi together so that they can echo their sentiments, their feelings, how they see the situation in Fonyi. I want to thank you all for your kind attention.
I think I must start. I don't know whether I should thank Honorable Ablai Bojang because I've not yet eaten. So if I thank you later, I blame you for not eating, then it's something else. On a serious note, definitely I'm happy that you organized this conference, and then when you called me to inform me to come and attend, I did not ask what the conference is going to be about, but I feel it's something that is going to be important for Fonyi and the Gambia at large. And I wasted no time to respond, and I promise you that by 4 o'clock I'll be here, and thank God that I am here. I have little to say because Honorable Ablai and Honorable Amul Nyasi and the other candidate, Bojang, all of them have said everything that I should say here. And the pain that Fonyi is going through, everybody is feeling the pain. And I don't know what is happening. Most of us are not politicians. This is my first time to be on the platform to talk on politics. But I think what people need to ask themselves, why this year we have so many independent candidates? Why does everybody now want to become a member of parliament? A lot has happened in the past 5 years. When we sometimes say Fonyi, people think that we are discriminating, or we are just trying to point out Fonyi because we are lovers of Yaya Jammeh and followers of Yaya Jammeh, and we think Yaya Jammeh should never, his leadership should never end. But I think you are getting us wrong, because I am from Wasadu village. And 1981, I was young. My brother Simbon Talibo Sane was a member of the coup. I was young, I was innocent. What I went through, what my family went through, what Wasadu went through is beyond the human rights violation that everybody is talking of today. We have foreign forces to protect us here. We are not safe at all. Every institution in the Gambia is not safe at all. Nothing is working. And myself, I have never thought to become a politician. I worked with Amul on the Child Fund. Later, I left to go to United Kingdom to study. What I studied is completely different from politics. When I returned back after getting my master's degree, I was offered to do my PhD. And then I told my friends in the United Kingdom, I am going back to help develop the Gambia. Most of them thought that I am crazy. They said the Gambia is too hard, nothing is working in the Gambia. And I told them, how possible if we all live abroad, how is our country going to develop? This was one of the reasons why I came back home. Luckily, when I returned back home, I was appointed as the managing director of the Central Abattoir Abuko. And again, I'm a part-time lecturer at the Gambia Technical Training Institute, GTTI. Up to just last month when I have to resign, maybe to take up this political career. Most people are asking me, Mr. Sani, even the students at GTTI don't want to lose me. I will ask these journalists, go to the abattoir. My reputation at the abattoir will speak volumes for you. But what happened there? Because I am from Fonyi, they believe that I am a supporter of Yaya Jammeh. I am technically fired out of the abattoir for not doing anything. And what I have done at the abattoir, no other manager who has been the abattoir have done it again. Fonyi people are feeling the pain. We are marginalized. We are discriminated. But when you talk, people are misinformed, and they are told that they are from Fonyi, they are Jolas. It's only people who don't know Fonyi would call Fonyi Jolas. I am privileged. Every village in Fonyi or West Coast region, from Carton up to the end Campasa, every village I one time worked there, because my first career was a forester. I am among the people who introduced community forestry in the whole of the country. After serving there for 5 good years, that was the time I resigned to work for Child Fund. After with Child Fund for another 5 years, I resigned again to travel to United Kingdom to study on my own up to a master's degree level. And then when I left, I said, let me go and help to develop my country. Unfortunately, the leadership of today, Adama Barrow, is not treating us fairly because we have to point fingers to him. He is calling us Fonyi people is a rebel zone. When you say Fonyi is a rebel zone, then you counting all of us to become rebels. And then now we are ready, if we are going to give us the rebel title, we are all ready to take up the rebel title. And we're going to be rebels. No one is going to talk to me about human rights violation because I said 1981, I was just roughly 9 years old. And then my brother is one of the ringleaders of the coup in 1981. I work in my eyes when my father was slapped. The only offense or the only crime that he has committed, he was only a biological parent of the one who was part of the coup. My Fonyi people were denied government jobs. All of them were sent away. If you go to my village, Wasadu, most of my people were only employed in the Catholic mission, that is the teaching field. Nobody is talking about that. Yeah, I gave me almost trained, almost like I was working for KGI. 250,000 students were sponsored to go and read abroad and then come back. The whole country today, we can go everywhere. We have seen what Yaya Jammeh has done. And then people want us to forget that. So it's a crime to talk good about Yaya Jammeh. This is why Fonyi is under punishment. 5 years, we are having foreign forces here. Crime rate in the Gambia has increased with all the respect of these foreign forces being in the country. So what is the essence of having these foreign forces here in the country? No employment for youth. Deportation has been signed. People are returning back. I said I have come back home from the United Kingdom after living there for 10 good years to help develop my country. We found a leader who is taking us backward and they want us not to talk but to be silenced. I am not going to look at my interests alone. I can work for NGOs or any other government. Those who know where I have served before know the reputation that I have left there. But I decided now to become a politician because I have to fight for the liberation of my Fonyikas and the Gambia at large. I have to fight for youth employment. I have to make sure that we move from where we were. None of us can tell us, yes, when Gambia left, most of us were not happy. But all of you can also agree with me, the day Barrow returned from Senegal, those who welcome Barrow at the airport is another history. Some of them, their cars were at the airport for almost how many? 2 days or 3 days. The crowd, whether APRC or GDC or whatever, everybody was at the airport to welcome Barrow, thinking that a new era of hope is born. Instead of that hope, we are just backwarded. Fonyi is being treated like foreigners. We would no longer be foreigners. We're going to represent the interests of our people. We're going to represent the interests of Gambians, and we're going to represent the interests of Africa at large. So if you are going to see us, that we are rebels in doing that, you are fine. Just as Honorable Amul have just said, we are not going to do it by just confronting. We're going to do it professionally and technically. But 5 years, nothing is working. Why I even decided to become a member of parliament? If you look at all the commissions that have been formed, all these commissions went through the act of parliament. That's how they are formed. But which one succeeded? All of them, they just made money and disappeared. CRC, how the Constitution Review Committee, how many millions was spent on that? It went in vain. You come to again, TRRC, how many millions was spent? It all got into vain. How many millions have been hearing in offices that have been disappearing and then nothing is happening about it? And then they said no one should talk about it. We are going to talk. We have new politicians. If they want now, I said that my village was targeted 1981. That is a rebel zone. We were being maltreated. Nobody talks about that. I was a child. I was reading what happened. My brothers were arrested, beaten, detained in prison, taken to court, not even taken to court. I remember when I visited my brother in the prison, Smile 2, telling me that they even dish hot food in their bare hands to eat. And then they use their faces as x-rays, maybe just to put off the smoke. I can see that burning. By then, I was attending St. Peter's Technical High School. Luckily, I just got the help of my principal to get scholarship to be able to complete my senior secondary education. We were able to forget that and to move forward. But a new government came in that is not ready to forgive and to listen to people to move forward. And then all they are talking about human rights violation of their government. We will defend if necessary because we have seen what we have gone through. That will also be ready to fight to defend what is right and then fight what is also wrong. But we will never be left behind and we are ready to take over. Yes, give us any name you want. What we have seen is Fonyi and Gambia. And then anywhere, go to the abattoir. Ask there, I'm just asking you journalists, ask them, Mr. Sani was here, why was he terminated here? I was only terminated because why? They sold part of the land of the abattoir. The money that we have worked for the past 5 years, I cannot recover that money. I don't know even where it goes. Then they have sold all the assets of the former president. I made a follow-up to find out where this money has gone to. They said, no, I'm fighting for the president. The only thing they have to do now to just terminate my service illegally. I reported the matter to the president's office, reported even Amul here, who is sitting here. I call him and inform me what is going on. Even to Faraga Tomon Jata, almost everybody. Nothing has happened. 7 months I'm without salary. Only my part-time lectures. They offered me jobs to go and take over. I said, I'm waiting for parliamentarian elections. I'm going to be at the parliament. And then inshallah, by the 9th April, I'll be voted in. Whether they will call me another rebel in the parliament. But I will fight for the justice of Fonyi. What is going is wrong. And then the youth no employment. They signed for it, they brought them here, millions we are given, no youth programs. If you tell them, they just only give us what is written on paper, black and white. And then nothing is working in the country. The public is the one that is talking, it's not me. You got out here, you go to the market, everybody's complaining, go to the hospital, no medicine. Nothing is working in the country. But they say that we have to be quiet because if you talk, you are full of your government. We will continue to, even if I live without salary. My father has survived being a farmer for the past 80 good years. I don't mind going back to the farm and then surviving through that, but I'll fight for justice for Fonyi and the Gambia at large. And I'll say to you, thank you very much. Abaraka.